Headlines of this hour on VTV News. Vietnam celebrates the 79th National Day. Politburo comments on reports to be presented to the 14th Party Congress. And in our world news, Israel and Hamas set 3-day pauses for Gaza polio shots.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is currently 8 a.m. local time and you're tuning into 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Dylan Lei with the latest updates. Now, on the occasion of the 79th anniversary of the August Revolution and Vietnam's National Day, September the 2nd, party and state leaders visited the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum on Friday morning to pay tribute. The delegation, which included Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, and Chairman of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Đỗ Văn Chiến, as well as former leaders of the party and state, laid wreaths in honor of President Ho Chi Minh and his pivotal role in the nation's liberation and development. Additionally, the leaders also paid their respects to fallen soldiers at the Heroic Martyrs Monument on Bắc Sơn Street, Hanoi. Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm and his wife chaired a program on Thursday to celebrate the 79th anniversary of Vietnam's National Day. The event was also attended by former leaders of the party and state, current leaders, ambassadors, chefs d'affaires, and heads of international organizations in Hanoi.
From a country devastated by war, Vietnam has risen to become a symbol of peace and stability. It's now one of the world's top 40 economies and has established diplomatic relations with 193 countries. It's also considered a success story by the United Nations and international friends.
The 79 years of achievements are due to the patriotism, great national unity, will of self-reliance, self-improvement, and strong desire for independence, freedom, and happiness of the party, state, and people of Vietnam, and under the wise and talented leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam. We'd like to express our gratitude for the immense contributions of former leaders, the party and state, and those who sacrificed themselves for the country. We'll always be deeply grateful for the valuable support and assistance from international friends.
Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm affirmed that under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam, the nation will enter a new era of growth. He emphasized Vietnam's commitment to contributing more towards maintaining peace, stability, and development in the region and the world.
The party, state, and people of Vietnam hope to continue to receive the support and close cooperation of friends, partners, and peace lovers worldwide. We firmly believe that, together, we will overcome all challenges, seize opportunities to join hands to build a world of peaceful and sustainable development, and shape a fair international political and economic order, based on the fundamental principles of the United Nations Charter and international law.
In the light of the volatile global situation, the ambassador of the State of Palestine emphasized that Vietnam's bamboo diplomacy, flexible yet resilient, agile and consistent, has continued to affirm the nation's identity and position in the international arena. To celebrate the 79th anniversary of the National Day, a special art program took place featuring numerous performances by Vietnamese and international artists. The performances paid tribute to President Ho Chi Minh and the revolution while promoting the country and the people of Vietnam.
On the 55th anniversary of President Ho Chi Minh's testament implementation and his passing September 2, 1969 to September 2, 2024, the Central Commission for Communication and Education and Vietnam National Television jointly organized a special political and artistic program on Friday evening, themed President Ho Chi Minh Testament. The event was attended by General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm, along with numerous other party and state leaders.
The 90-minute program served as a powerful reminder of history, affirming the core values and significant contributions of Uncle Ho's testament to the great victory of the Vietnamese Revolution over the past half century. Combining news stories with unique artistic performances, the program took delegates and audiences on an emotional journey back to May 1965, when beloved Uncle Ho penned the first lines of his sacred testament. This final document, written before his passing, encapsulated his whole heart, will, belief, and responsibility for the entire party and people. It stands as a crystallization of noble moral, cultural, and emotional values, a testament to the outstanding intellect and passionate heart of a patriot, a great leader, and an outstanding communist soldier.
On Friday morning at the party's Central Committee headquarters, Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm chaired a meeting of the Politburo and the Secretariat. The purpose was to gather opinions on several key documents: the draft political report for the 14th Party Congress, a report summarizing theoretical and practical issues in the renovation process, and other materials to be presented at the upcoming 10th Central Committee conference.
After listening to reports from agencies and engaging in heated discussions, Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm, on behalf of the Politburo and the Secretariat, commended the preparation of the draft. He noted their thoroughness and careful incorporation of contributions from previous meetings, deeming them essentially ready for submission to the upcoming 10th Central Conference. Regarding socialist-oriented renovation, as well as the building and defense of the socialist fatherland over 40 years, it has become increasingly comprehensive, evaluating both achievements and limitations in Vietnam's socialist development across four major groups of issues. These are building a socialist-oriented market economy, developing culture, society, and people, addressing national defense, security, and foreign affairs, and building and rectifying the party to ensure a clean and strong political system.
Regarding the country's foundation after 40 years of renovation, we continue to supplement and deepen the content to prove the assertion that our country has never before had such a strong foundation, potential, and international standing as it does today, so that party members and people can clearly see that this assertion is correct. This will strengthen their belief, enthusiasm, and pride in the revolutionary achievements of the past 40 years.
The Politburo and the Secretariat also called for clarification on several specific issues. They sought to unify the perception of the new context, which is ushering in a new era, an era of rising up for the Vietnamese people after 40 years of renovation and 100 years under the party's leadership. This understanding will drive stronger innovation.
In a move to propel Vietnam onto the global cultural stage, Prime Minister Phie signed a directive on Friday, August 29th, outlining tasks for developing the country's cultural industries. The aim is to position Vietnam as a major player in the field, aligning with contemporary trends and unlocking potential for socio-economic growth. The directive stressed that cultural industries worldwide are rapidly expanding and are recognized as a sustainable force that drives resource pooling, competitive advantages, and positive contributions to national branding and economic development. Prime Minister Phie urged ministries, ministry-level, and government agencies to heighten their awareness of the position, role, and importance of cultural industries for socio-economic development and the promotion of Vietnamese culture. Specific tasks were assigned to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, Information and Communications, and Industry and Trade. Additionally, authorities of provinces and centrally run cities were tasked with issuing local policies to foster cultural industries, balance budgets, provide investment incentives, and build competitive and innovative local markets. On the occasion of the 79th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day on September the 2nd, a groundbreaking ceremony for the National Exhibition and Fair Center was held on Friday morning in Đông Anh District, Hanoi. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the event. Invested by Vingroup and covering 90 hectares, the center will be among the world's top 10 largest exhibition venues. It aims to host major international trade events and exhibitions similar to expo models in Dubai, Frankfurt, and Milan. The center will also serve as a key platform for global business networking and trade promotion. Additionally, it is expected to be a prominent architectural landmark capable of hosting significant international events. To ensure effective use of the center, Hanoi will accelerate infrastructure development, including new bridges and urban railways, to improve connectivity and support the capital's development into a cultural, civilized, modern city. Coming up next on VTV News. Vietnam's integration into global automotive manufacturing supply chains. And later on, propaganda posters unveil rich tapestry of Vietnamese history and culture. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Although the National Day holiday will last 4 days this year, customs clearance activities will continue as usual at 6 border gates in Longton province. According to the Management Board of Longton Border Gate Economic Zone, all international border gates in the province will maintain normal operations. Authorities will work in shifts to provide optimal conditions for businesses to carry out import and export activities. These international border gates process customs clearance for 1,200 to 1,300 import and export vehicles daily. To maintain security and order, the border guard force proactively manages and effectively organize people and vehicles for smooth cross-border circulation. As the year-end approaches, opportunities abound for export in both agriculture and aquaculture. The two industries are speeding up production to meet export orders. Aquaculture in particular is ramping up trade promotion efforts to reach its $10 billion export goal for this year.
These products are being exported to markets such as the US and EU. Nevertheless, companies continue to showcase their products at exhibitions to find more potential customers. Previous experiences show that trade promotion events often lead to more successful contract signings.
Currently, many foreign customers have placed orders with our company. Our task is to prepare raw materials and increase production time to fulfill all orders by the end of this year.
Amid global economic downturns, focusing on a trade promotion has become the goal for seafood exporters in the second half of this year. They aim to benefit from the shift in U.S. orders and the advantages of increased exports to China.
With higher production and exports, we will reach our goals sooner. This will lay the groundwork for the fisheries sector to meet its 2021-2025 export targets.
Although the market has witnessed positive developments, seafood companies still face numerous challenges from now until the end of the year. The Ministry of Agriculture recommends that companies diversify their export markets to avoid dependence on any single market. This strategy aims to expand and strengthen the domestic market while building recognition and identity for Vietnamese seafood.
According to the Vietnam Supporting Industry Association, about 100 Vietnamese enterprises have become first-tier suppliers in the automobile manufacturing industry. These companies play a crucial role by directly supplying automobile manufacturers in Vietnam and exporting their products. That is a huge step forward for the export of electrical and electronic components.
These car battery production lines utilize new stamping technology and automation for high productivity. As a result, the two battery factories of this enterprise have a combined capacity of over 2 million kilowatt-hours per year. Vietnamese-produced batteries are now installed in many globally branded car models.
In the past 5 years, we've boosted our exports, supplying Ford's leading factories. We are also in the process of arranging deliveries to Toyota.
Last year, the export turnover of the wire components group reached about $1.17 billion, accounting for 38% of the export value of auto components, ranking third in the world. While Vietnamese enterprises have made remarkable progress in mechanical and plastic sectors, they mainly produce separate components rather than complete ones. This is due to low output, which makes it difficult to attract investment.
The automobile industry in Vietnam has insufficient output, so the motivation for businesses to invest in this industry is very limited. However, the successes of VinFast, VTVgo, or Hyundai Thành Công serve as inspiration for Vietnamese businesses to participate in the production chain.
To encourage business investment, preferential policies should be implemented, such as preferential interest rates on investment loans and tax incentives.
We have preferential tax policies for businesses that participate in supporting industry production, especially those with high-value products. This will encourage them to increase investment in this field.
According to the Vietnam Supporting Industry Association, the government should implement policies to boost consumption of domestic car models. This increased demand would encourage businesses to invest more in producing high-quality components.
At the construction site of the Diễn Châu Bai Vọt Expressway project, contractors are urgently completing the remaining sub-projects, including the residential access road system and drainage system. The Ministry of Transport, the Department of Construction Investment Management, and Project Management Board 6 are working with contractors to finalize documents for technical design adjustments. These adjustments aim to fully meet the requirements for toll operations starting September 30th. The Diễn Châu Bai Vọt Expressway stretches over 50 kilometers, passing through the two central provinces of Nghệ An and Hà Tĩnh. Longton International Airport is expected to begin operations in about 2 years. Right now, the Party Committee and government of Dong Nai Province are seeking solutions to promote advantages. While the project presents numerous opportunities, it also faces significant challenges.
Longton International Airport presents Dong Nai Province with opportunities to shift its investment structure toward higher-value industries. Thus, newly planned industrial parks must prioritize this direction while aligning with the overall development goals of the region and the country.
The central government is responsible for creating preferential policy mechanisms for development and facilitate the implementation of this national mission.
According to forecasts, when the Longton Airport area is put into operation, it will require more than 13,000 workers. The challenge lies in the fact that currently, 15 colleges and vocational schools in the area lack training programs related to the aviation sector.
Along with resources for Longton Airport, we are also preparing for conversion. The department has arranged 5 projects in 5 localities to attract social investment in education.
At a workshop discussing the opportunities and challenges of Longton Airport's upcoming operation, provincial leaders highlighted 5 key challenges facing the locality.
We need to secure funding through loans, bond issuance, and land auctions. This will provide us with the necessary resources to attract businesses here.
The Longton International Airport project is a national key project, ranked among the top 16 most anticipated airport projects in the world. Once operational, the project is expected to contribute 3 to 5% to Vietnam's GDP growth.
Vibrant propaganda posters have become a familiar sight on Vietnamese streets, especially during national holidays. Beyond their main purpose, these posters also reveal vivid stories about Vietnamese history and culture. Let's delve into the story of Hanoi's Liberation Day through the works of two generations of artists, both young and old.
A child, a young woman, and a mother welcome home a victorious soldier. This artwork has just won third prize in a propaganda poster contest to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the capital's Liberation Day. The drawing, meticulously crafted in pencil and color, is the work of an 81-year-old artist who has devoted over 6 decades of his life to this art form.
For the poster, I decided to depict the deep bond between the military and the people as they welcomed Uncle Ho's soldiers after liberating the capital. The thing I love most about propaganda art is that it reaches people deeply and widely, portraying historical relics and great achievements.
Young artists are following in the footsteps of previous generations, using propaganda posters to tell heroic stories from history.
I chose to depict a window on that glorious day. As it opens, it reveals soldiers marching towards the capital, overlooking a peaceful city. This beautiful image helped me win first prize.
Propaganda posters not only chronicle historical milestones, but also capture the essence of our national culture.
Vietnamese propaganda art embodies the nation's cultural identity. It often incorporates iconic imagery deeply rooted in the cultural consciousness of the Vietnamese people, such as the lotus flower and President Ho Chi Minh. Traditional Vietnamese motifs, like those found on temple roofs, are also featured.
Beyond traditional posters, contemporary propaganda art is diverse in its forms and illustrations, due to the creativity of young artists.
Propaganda art will never become obsolete. It can be applied to countless products, from branding and clothing to tote bags, significantly expanding its reach.
Despite my old age, my passion for my work keeps me going. I continue to paint simply because I still wish to serve my country and its people.
Coming up next in our world news. Israel and Hamas set 3-day pauses for Gaza polio shots. And later on, Telegram could face greater EU scrutiny. Now moving on to our world news, the UN Security Council held an open meeting on the situation in the Middle East, focusing on the humanitarian situation in Gaza. UN Acting Assistant General Secretary for Humanitarian Affairs Joyce Msuya said humanitarian efforts and relief operations in Gaza faced serious challenges. She stressed the international community's efforts to successfully implement a polio vaccination campaign for Gaza's children. On the same day, the World Health Organization announced that the Israeli army and Hamas forces had agreed to pause fighting in 3 separate periods, each lasting 3 days, to allow polio vaccination for about 640,000 children in Gaza. The vaccination campaign will be launched on Sunday. Telegram could face stricter EU digital rules as Brussels probes whether the popular messaging app has more EU users in the bloc than claimed. The platform was thrust into the spotlight after its chief, Pavel Durov, was arrested in France last week, accused of failing to curb extremist and illegal content on the platform. The EU's Digital Services Act requires all platforms in the bloc to protect online users from illegal and harmful content. Platforms with 45 million or more monthly active users in the EU have greater obligations and are regulated by the EC rather than national authorities. Telegram is not currently subject to the additional rules, saying it had 41 million users in the EU in February. The EC admitted it had doubts about Telegram's claim. A fierce legal battle is underway between billionaire Elon Musk's social network X and Brazilian authorities over compliance with local law. The confrontation could lead to the social network X being shut down in Brazil. The confrontation stems from the platform's failure to comply with Brazilian court orders to block several accounts accused of spreading misinformation and inciting hatred. Brazilian judge Alexandre de Moraes has threatened to suspend the social network X's operations unless billionaire Elon Musk appoints a new legal representative for the company in Brazil and settle all outstanding fines within 24 hours. A wind farm and 260-kilometer subsea transmission link have connected the Shetland Islands to Great Britain's electricity grid for the first time. This 103-turbine project can generate 443 megawatts of electricity, enough to power nearly 500,000 homes. More in the following story.
A wind farm on Scotland's Shetland Isles could power nearly 500,000 homes in mainland Britain. Energy company SSE hailed the milestone, describing it as a groundbreaking achievement for clean energy in the UK.
So it's quite exciting that we're now connecting Shetland to the GB transmission system. There's a huge resource there. We're talking about a large amount of power, and that displaces dirty fuels and brings us closer to net zero.
Shetland is the windiest part of the UK, which means that wind farms can harness that power to generate electricity. Critics of the project say that it brings little benefit to the Shetland Isles.
Well, people are looking out their windows at these huge turbines that are producing far more power than we could possibly ever use, and at the same time having to wonder whether or not they can put their own heating on because of the cost of electricity here. So they're justifiably angry that there's so little benefit to the islands from these projects.
So I think it's hugely important for two reasons. One is Shetland's got great wind resource. This is the first of the really big wind farms that may be built here. There'll be more projects to come. There are mooted projects for offshore wind up here as well, and even for second links. And the fact that we can now connect Shetland means that we can turn off eventually the diesel power station here. Shetland can run far greener and run on green energy going forward. And when the wind isn't blowing here, it can be connected to the national grid and take power back up from the UK.
The two projects mark a $1.3 billion USD investment by SSE as part of a $27 billion USD commitment to UK clean energy infrastructure by 2027.
Up next, here's the weather forecast for Vietnam and other locations in the world. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website, our YouTube channel, or download a mobile app, VTVgo, for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.